Welcome back to It's Your Environment. I'm George Curtis, and we got Mike back. And Mike, what is that number? How do people reach you on the internet?
They can hop on the internet at www.northernwisconsinoutfitters.com, or they can call my landline phone, which is 715-373-0344.
And they get a lot of experience. Somebody who works at this guiding and the outdoors year-round, don't you?
I do a lot of outdoor stuff, and bear hunting is my passion.
Now, when there are lots of deer, you actually guide for deer too, don't you?
Yeah, I used to guide quite a few deer hunters, and I've slowed down with that because the bear takes a lot of my time. I mean, as soon as this season is over with, I'm already taking phone calls. I got guys that want to hunt with me, and it just starts all over again. But yeah, I do take some archery hunters and a couple rifle hunters a year.
And of course, you have to really study the area, you have to pick the right spots, and you have to know the animal. Any suggestions for people who happen to be out berry picking or hiking or camping or something like that, and they see a bear?
Don't feed it, for one thing. Stay away from it. Just let that bear know that you're there, and he shouldn't bother you.
Leave them alone and don't feed them is very good advice.
Exactly. A lot of people think they're like dogs, where you can give them a treat, and yeah, they're going to hang around and beg for more. But I guarantee you, some campers are going to come back and they're going to find their equipment all in shambles.
Now, of course, we have a tag situation in order to get a permit to hunt, and my understanding is that there are lots more people applying for the privilege of hunting bear in Wisconsin than there are permits.
Oh yeah, it's starting to get really, really popular. There's probably roughly around 85,000 people that apply, and Wisconsin only gives out around 4,000, maybe a little bit more than 4,000 tags a year. So it takes between 7 and 9 years just to draw that tag. There's a lot of bears, and it's getting more and more popular. So the more people apply, the longer it takes. So
it would seem to me that we should be letting more people hunt bear, because we are starting to have trouble bear, and we're trying to avoid the bear further reducing the deer population up north, because we got wolves to contend with too, besides a bad winter every third winter or four.
There is in my book, there's way too many bear up there. They're becoming a really nuisance for a lot of people. And I wish the Department of Natural Resources, state of Wisconsin, would give out more bear permits to take that population down. And I truly believe that the bears do a little damage on the fawn crop, and we can get some of our deer herd back again.
How do we go about influencing that decision?
Well, everybody's going to have to start, I don't know the phone numbers, but start making some phone calls down to Madison, and just start complaining. And it's not a fib. There is way too many bear up there.
Let's say that I'm interested in being a bear hunter, and of course having a guide like you who has the place and works at it year-round and gets the bear into the habit of coming in and has the stand located in such a way that the wind's going to be favorable most of the time. You also teach the hunter a little bit about what kind of equipment, what to wear, dealing with scent problems, making sure they can shoot in what's got to be an exciting moment when that big bear comes in.
Right. The first thing that, if somebody wants to bear hunt, they can hop on the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources website, and they'll walk you right through all the forms that you need to fill out. And it'll take a few years, but walk through it, and it only costs $4 to apply each year. And once when you do get that tag, you give me a call right away, and I'll talk with you as long as you want on what we need to do to set you up, and what you need to do as practice and camouflage, good scent control, and stuff like that. We cater to the hunters.
Lots of people who watch this show are hunters, but almost as many are interested in the animals, the situation, Mother Nature and the wild, and are just as likely to pay for your service if you'll guide them and they're there with a camera. They don't need to skin something to have a successful hunt. Are you willing to guide people who aren't particularly interested in shooting something?
Well, sure. If somebody wants to sit there and video black bear and stuff, I'd be more than happy to bring them out in one of our stands in that hunting situation. But instead of using a weapon to shoot, they're going to be using their camera.
And the same skills, really. They have to be quiet. They have to be aware of the way the wind's blowing, how they smell. They can't be moving. They've got to be patient like Craig was and not leave before the bell rings. And it takes some skill to stalk an animal, a real wild animal, with a camera, just like it does with a gun.
Yep. They would be doing everything that a hunter has to do, that I require my hunters to do. And like I said before, except with a weapon.
Well,
it'll
I
be
must
with
be
the
getting
camera.
I must be getting old, or possibly a little smarter. The last couple of years, I've hunted deer. I've probably seen at least 30 deer I could have shot, but I didn't see any that I particularly needed to shoot. I still had venison in the freezer, and so I just watched them, and I thought I had a great hunt.
Yeah, it's not. It's not all about northern Wisconsin outfitters. It's about taking these hunter people that are interested in hunting and showing them a good time, keeping that hunting tradition going. You wouldn't believe how many people, a couple years later, I get a knock on the door and open it up, and here's one of the bear hunters from 2 years ago with the whole family. They're out camping. It goes way beyond hunting, what I offer.
It is exactly my point. This out of doors belong to all of us, and there are different ways of appreciating it. But boy, we appreciate it when we understand it, and the best way to understand it is to go with a pro. And I met one today. Thank you for being on the show.
Thanks, George.
And thank you, ladies and gentlemen.